G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for episode number 8 of my Beginner's Primal Strike Elementalist playthrough, where we are starting on the character selection screen because I kind of like this look and I wanted to show it off. That's all. Let's get into the game. So at the end of the last episode, we finished up Act 4, we killed the Logorian, gained access to Elite and also Ultimate, but we're not going to go straight to Elite. Also, pretty sure I said I was going to tidy up my inventory and then just straight up didn't, so let's get that out of the way first. We are also... is that Perdition? That's Faith of God. We're going to head into the Ashes of Mammoth content today, and there's a few fun items to point out if I can get them to drop, but the basic idea is we're going to head into the next expansion. I will finish Ashes and then Forgotten Gods, and then probably skip Elite and go straight into Ultimate. That seems to have been working fairly well for me so far. So let's do that. Now, the next weapon is going to drop at level 55, so we've got a little while to go before I need to worry about that. Rings are more or less under control. Not amazing, but they're okay. What I do actually want to do is I want to get rid of one of these ward stones and get some Ather resistance. However, I may not need to do that if we've got... I think we need Honored with one of the base game's factions, so Homestead, Rovers, maybe Black Legion, Devil's Crossing, something like that. So let's go ahead and do a quick run through... I guess it's got to be the Gates of Necropolis. Going to get a couple of, what are they called? Ather Crystals. There we go. Words are hard. So Ather Crystals are over here on the right. Looks like I'm also going to get a totem out of this, which is very nice. But in general, I just want to do one piece of crafting, and that is the Aether Soul. Now I've already got a runestone on my helmet, which I will have to ditch at some point because I'm going to put a prismatic gem there. A prismatic diamond, rather. But we're not quite at that point yet. Bunch of stuff I don't need. The Explorer's Tunic does open an interesting possibility. So the Explorer's set, each piece of it, and there's 4 pieces, each piece comes with a 5% XP gained bonus. So you can... I'm not doing it this time. I've done it in the past, it's a pain in the ass. But you can craft the whole set. As soon as you have a blueprint for either the chest or the legs, I think is the other blueprint. As soon as you have the blueprint, you can craft 4 of them, and then using the transmute feature from the inventor, which I don't think I've unlocked on this character yet, but using that, you can then transmute them and get the whole set. And that will give you 20% more XP. You don't want to be wearing it in combat, but you can put it on to turn in quests. When you're in town, you're perfectly safe, so it doesn't matter if half your stats are gone. And it's just a kind of an okay way to get a bunch of XP, because the majority of the XP you get in this game, if you're not grinding, is going to be from quests. Alright, I think that's probably enough Ather Crystals. That's probably all I'm going to get. I hope I've got some in the bank still. Either way, I'm going to ditch the Wardstone. Let's keep the item here. Now, resistances, I think I just lost 3% on bleeding. I also didn't lose any run speed because I'm already overcapped, but if I wasn't, then I would have lost some run speed as well. Let's see if I already bought the Aether Soul. Here we go. So I need 3 Wrathstones. 1, 2, 3, and then we go Aether Soul. Right. I do this because we are heading towards a city that is absolutely filled with ethereals, and I want to make sure that when I get there I don't die in 3 hits. So now it's going to take 6. Alright, so what else do we have? In terms of gear, I could go and do some more shopping for another Kaiman's badge. I'm not going to. I'll probably do this in Ultimate, get another one of these. I do need to start looking for new boots. I do need to start looking maybe for some new shoulders as well. There are some shoulders that give... I forget exactly what it is. I think it may have something to do with Primal Strike, but I'm going to leave those for now. Same with these rings. This one is not good. I could quite happily use just about any other Gollus ring and be better off. Ideally, I want, you know, Harmonious of Alacrity just for the extra resistances. I've been incredibly unlucky with those this run, so that is what it is. Alright, let's head on over to... That's a lot of armor. Not really great on resistances, but it does have the Heart of the Wild there. And that Earthquake triggers on attack and stuns as well. That's actually pretty good. We have a decent amount, I think, of physical to lightning conversion. That's a quarter just on the weapon. I think we get some from Stormcaller's Pact as well. Yeah, so we're up to 40%. So actually that's not bad at all. If I could find some way to get a little bit more bleeding resistance, that could be quite good. Anyway, don't have that yet, so let's move on. Now, starting with the Gloomwald, and we have to go through the Burrich Village to get there. We went from the end of last episode, running through one of my least favorite zones, to the Gloomwald this episode, which is probably my most favorite zone. I didn't like it when I first went in there. In fact, it was borderline terrifying. Big dark forest, big scary monsters, and I had no idea where I was going. So I really did not enjoy it when I first started, but now it's probably, if not my favorite zone, then it's definitely top 3 or 4. And I can't think of what would be the other options. Alright, so first things first, we've got a friend here to deal with. Good old Dralgar, Keeper of Burrich. Not sure why he's on this side of the barrier. But we'll take him out anyway. And he's dropped a lovely one-handed axe that I'm not going to use. That proc does have minus cold res on it though, which is interesting. Not for this build, but for other reasons that I won't go into. Is that that's an axe, isn't it? Yeah, one-handed axe. Interesting. I'll say no more. So the Gloomwald is home to a whole bunch of cannibals. It's, well, these are the cannibals that turned. It's home to Wendigos and all sorts of other nasty things, including this guy who's reflective, which I hate on this build. We do a decent amount of damage over time, which, I mean, it's not internal trauma, but still, reflected damage over time can be nasty. Alright, here's our first rift, and we're going to do a quick run through all of Gloomwald just because I like it. And since I'm the one driving, you guys get to come along for the ride. So the Gloomwald here, like I said, one of my favorite areas, and that's mostly because I farm here a lot. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I love this place. Not just for the farming, I also actually like the aesthetic as well. Kind of reminds me of Kurast a little bit. I say a little bit because there aren't, you know, ruins at the end with a corrupted High Council that you have to kill. Well, I mean, if you count the city of Malmouth as ruins, then I guess it kind of is. So yeah, Act 5 and 6 of Grim Dawn is actually Act 3 of Diablo 2. There we go. There's my hot take for the day. But yeah, the similarities are definitely there, now that I'm thinking about it. And I definitely like the feel of it. But it's also a really good place to farm, because you get all this stuff, actually. Pendant of the Royal Crown, are we up to 2 pieces of that set now? We definitely are. Need the 3rd piece before I'm even going to think about putting it on. However, I don't think I've ever got more than... I think this might be the first time I've got 2 pieces of that set on one character. But yeah, this area is really good for farming. There's guaranteed 2 to 3 totems. Actually, I think that might just be a 2, now that I'm thinking about it. We'll say 1 to 2 totems. And also guaranteed you will get 2 treasure troves coming through here, so make sure you have some dynamite stored up. There's also decent amounts of heroes. I didn't get one behind this house this time, which is unusual, because you often will. There's also often one in this house. And I'm going to grab this named stash note. And let's go ahead and read that. Also, what was that blueprint? Oh, the bounty hunter's girl. Okay. You go down these stairs here, and this area has a decent chance for an ancient aether warped, or sorry, ancient, is it spirit totem? The undead one. Doesn't look like it's here at the moment, but it would be just down here. Here's my first treasure trove. The other one is going to be above ground when we get back there. So swap that so I don't have to upset my OCD. Yeah, so guaranteed treasure trove. Decent chance for Avest, who is going to be on this little platform here, or not. She has 2 spawn locations, so it's 50-50. Looks like she's not home today. So I know exactly where she is now, because like I said, there are 2 locations where she can be, and it's 50-50. And also you get a decent number of unique enemies or heroes, elites, whatever you want to call them, in here as well. If you did not get your treasure trove where I did, it's going to be right here. So if you just kind of hook around there and come back here, it'll be like pretty much where these pants are. So come in here, pretty good chance for Avest, totem probably, treasure trove absolutely. Then you come out here, sometimes get a hero in the building. Down here you'll sometimes get one. Here we go, I've got one here. So this guy is arcane, has to die immediately. And got 2 here actually, so that's pretty good. Is that, do I hear 3? I hear 3, alright. So 3 heroes here. And I've dropped a Wendigo Eye, which is not the one I'm looking for. Nope, not even close. The one I'm looking for comes from the Chthonics, and I'm not going to use it. I just thought I'd point it out. It's the Rylock Mark, I think it is. It's a Rylock something. It's the metal you use to turn your blue/white lightning bolts into pink lightning bolts, and you can do vitality conversion, which is also quite good. There's an endgame set specifically for it too. Second treasure trove here. The first spot it could have been, here's the rift gate, so you run around here, and just up here, kind of nestled in this little gap, is where the first place it could have been is. Impervious is pretty good. Impervious is the pierce resistance. The rest of that, I mean, no. Although having said that, level 30 with that much armor kind of makes my incendiary shoulder plates look kind of bad. Those incendiary shoulder plates might be a level 20 base. No, they weren't. They had more armor. They've got to be the 32 or 30 base. This tree here can have a totem by it, and just to the left of the tree here is a rotting stump. Now, whenever you see these, make sure you click on them, because they drop these bad boys, Ugdenblooms, and you kind of probably think they're not much use for anything when you first get them. But believe me when I say you will need probably about 50 to 60 of those things for every character you make, if you intend to use some of the fancier components on them. Also, there's a bunch of relics and other crafting things that they're used for. But the general rule is just, you need more than you have. Same with Ather Crystals. Alright, let's go ahead and rescue Garrett here. The other reason, actually, while I'm on the topic of why I like this area, is because Chupacabra lives here. And you come out of the rift here, and he can be here, or I think it's here, or here, or here, or over here. And then you come over here, when you come out of the stairs down, Chupacabra can be here, he can be just here. There's a couple more spawn points up here. There's a lot of places where he hides in this little jungle section. and for some reason I really enjoy killing him. I think it's the Nemesis Trove. Pretty sure that's what it is. Alright, this is a dynamite site. If you didn't pick up Nain's stash, which was back here in this first house, just near the door down into that little underground cellar, you won't see this. So you do need to have that quest item in order to blow this wall up. And behind it is an Exalted stash, so guaranteed blue or better. In this case, blue. And it's rubbish, but trading a dynamite for a shot at a good purple is usually worth it, in my opinion. And then we can come up the left side here. Now, if you haven't found your totem by now, I obviously found mine way back here. And then the second option is just here next to this tree. If yours isn't there, it's going to be here. You can get some fancier chests here as well. Get lucky, and looks like I got the Bloodthirsty Bloom. Alright, these guys as well, the Moss Flingers, they can... Actually, a lot of these plants can drop Ugden Blooms as well, so... Aside from just getting rid of the annoying poison vomit that they do, they can be worth killing for loot as well. This little stairs down here, I'm not going to go down there, but there's... actually, I think I will. I was going to say I'm not going to go down there because it's just Avarice, but we didn't get the ancient totem in the other undead area, in the other cellar, so there's a good chance it's in here. I'm not seeing it on the map yet, so maybe not. Alrighty, level 48, 3 more points in Stormcaller's Pact, and I'm going to keep going on Physique until at least 50. I may stop at that point and put extra points into Spirit. But Physique is never a bad choice, it just might not be the best choice. Alright, let's go get Avarice. Now, Avarice here has this little star above her head, or a skull rather, and she can be a little scary. The one thing you want to do with Avarice though is you want to run around, ignore her for a little bit, and kill all of her friends. Because her friends have this annoying habit of healing her. Anything that's called Wraith Speaker is potentially going to do that. Okay. Now that she doesn't have a healer, she should go down relatively quickly. Do be careful though, she has a gun, and she's going to shoot you with it. So if your poison resist isn't very good, and she happens to have rolled, I don't know, venom fangs of something, like, if she's got a really nasty gun, she will be shooting you with it. So I've straight up lost characters to her with good resistances, just one shot out of nowhere. I'm sure it wasn't actually one individual hit, but yeah, she can absolutely kill you. So be aware of that, and be careful with her. Definitely give her the respect she deserves. Because she will kill you. Or, I say will, she can kill you. Alright, next up is the second half of Gloomwald, so that's Gloomwald Crossing, that's kind of the halfway point. This next section, there's one quest in here that I'm aware of, but there's actually a decent amount of stuff in here. If you're ever looking for a farming location for Ugden Blooms, this is it. So, there's a nice little path that I like to use. Also, if you're farming the crabs, there's a decent number of crabs here too. I wouldn't probably come here specifically to find crabs, but Caraxes is good if you're looking for the +1 soldier belt, and if you're looking for the Inquisitor belt, you want to go into the mines near Barrowholm, and the Naxton Shade at the end there has a guaranteed +1 Inquisitor belt. Okay, so here's my rotting stump. This is the first one, so from the Gloomwald Crossing Rift, come across here, kill this or not, as you please. And one Ugden Bloom. Just to the right here is another one. There's two. Then from there you head south. And you want to go past that first little left turn. I guess it's right turn for the character, but left on the screen. And you want to come over here, and you're going underneath this little path. And there's a nice little hidden area with a trap. There's also often a hidden spoils here. Now, I'm not actually 100% certain how this works, because initially I thought you would only get that the first time you found a hidden area, but then they came back occasionally, so I'm not sure. Harmonious of the Fox. I do like Harmonious. But here's another Rotting Stump, so that's another Ugdenbloom. Each of these can potentially drop 2. So at this point, you can potentially, I mean, probably never actually happen, but potentially you could have 6. Then you want to head across to the right here, and then head down. And here's another one. This one's a trap, so unfortunately no Ugdenbloom for me. But that could potentially have been 8. Again, you're never going to get 2 from all of them. It's just not going to happen. But potentially it could. And then from there you head over here to the right. And we're going to get a brief moment of sunlight here. Oops, Harmonious Ugdenbog Girdle. See, the way these belts work, right? The Ugdenbog Girdle, where is it? This one. The Ugdenbog Girdle has the +1 to soldiers. If the crab you killed is real, solid crab, it will drop +1 soldier. If it's a ghost crab, it will drop +1 Inquisitor. So if you're playing one of those masteries, keep that in mind. Okay, this one is red, so it's a trap, unfortunately. So I don't get my potential 10th. And then the rest of the zone kind of doesn't matter. It's mostly, as far as I've been able to tell, the only other things in this area is the Caraxes quest and the entry to the Coven. And since we are doing the Caraxes quest, I guess this house also has some lore notes in it. It's kind of a little bit dark. This one right here. It's definitely a little bit dark, but, I mean, welcome to Grim Dawn, am I right? There you go, if you want to read it. We want to go to the back of this house, though. So at the back of the house, you're going to find this really shiny chest, and oh no, it's a trap. Unfortunately, it's not a very good trap, is it? Alright, this is the cave we want. Now, if you're not sure exactly where to come to get this cave, you can ignore this little trip south to get Ugdenblooms. Just follow the road, and then kind of come up this way. And you'll find the cave, no problem. It'll show on your map, so just keep an eye on your map. Now, this particular cave is more or less a figure 8. This is the bottom half, and then it kind of goes up and around, and it's more of a balloon, really, with the knot at the bottom being this little bit. But it does give you an interesting choice in that you can do the full complete loop and get a bit more XP, maybe some more loot, or you can go in, kill Caraxes, and come out the way you came in and leave all that sort of rubbish alone. I don't see the treasure, sorry, not treasure trove, the totem in here. So I'm probably just going to go back out the way I came. Now, Caraxes Fowl is has a skull, so he will drop his MI, and he is a crab that is alive, so he's going to be dropping a +1 soldier belt here. So if you're playing a soldier and you want +1 skills on a belt, this is the guy you want to farm. You can go down before I run out of energy, that'd be great. There he goes. Heart of Caraxes is the quest item. There's the belt. +1 skills in soldier. 12% armor is actually really good. And if you come over here on the left, I think it's just kind of here-ish. You can find a totem sometimes. Not today, though. Alright, I'm just going to leave here. Big tree golems can kind of stay there and rabble, or whatever it is they do when I'm not here. They've just got too much health for it to be worth it. I'm pretty sure they do give extra XP because of that, but I also don't care. So yeah, just follow the road here and then go north. Usually I come across this way and down, and then sort of that. But this time I've gone a different way, and it looks like I'm going to be rewarded with 2 additional heroes to kill. And what was that blueprint? Desolation. Okay, now we are talking. Now this one is 3 Tainted Brain Matters, Squall. This is +1 Shaman. This is really good. So I'm pretty sure the place where I was planning to get this was Hiram. We do indeed have the Squall blueprint. I'm going to guess I can make this straight away. So let's get to the next town, and then I'm going to go make that, because +1 to shaman skills with a whole bunch of lightning stuff, including a spell that I don't actually have to cast myself. It's just going to trigger when, I think it was when hit? Yeah, when hit. That's really good. So we're now going to have +1 to shaman skills from our belt, +1 from our relic, and +1 from our amulet. The only easily available +1 skill that I don't have yet is +1 on a helmet. And if I found the right item, you can get +2 from a weapon. Okay, let's sell all of this. I don't want any of this, so I can pretty happily just sell it all without really looking. Just trying not to do that. Don't sell Blood of Chthon. You want to keep that. It's very important. You will need it later. That blue chest there. Nope, don't need it. There we go. I think that's all of the rubbish. Yep. Okay. So, Desolation. Let's go get us a Desolation. Now, there's some quests to turn in here, but you know what? I kind of don't care. I want my shiny new toy. Let's go get it. So, things I remember that I needed. Well, I guess I did rescue her dad, so let's get our free, is it XP? No, it's attribute reset. Right, so I'm not going to use that, but I will keep it. Okay. I need Squall, which I picked up earlier, for which I need a dense fur, which I can make. Now, I remember I also needed an amber, so I'll make that. But I needed... Hang on, did I make Squall already? No, I was thinking about it. I think I may have made it on my super secret alternate shaman that you're not supposed to know about, so don't tell anyone I said that, alright? So there's Squall. Now, Squall is a bit of lightning damage, it's some spirits and offensive ability. And the Lightning Storm, this is the reason why I didn't make this one. It's alright, but you have to cast it. And the damage is not amazing. So I kind of just... I didn't want to. We'll take that off. We have, unfortunately, uncapped our elemental, but it will be fine. And we're going for Desolation. Now, I've already got all the stuff for this, although I'm going to be very short on Tainted Brain Matter, but you know what? I don't care. So we picked up some flat lightning damage, some flat electrocute, percentage for both of those, defensive ability, attack speed, +1 to all skills in Shaman, and then when we get hit, 2-second recharge, so this is going to be going off all the time. And we picked up +1 for Tenacity of the Boar, which is it this one? Where is it? There it is, so... It could maybe be worth recrafting this for the completion bonus. I don't have enough, unfortunately, enough tainted brain matter to actually do it, so I'm not going to. But, oh well, definitely need that as well. Yeah, if you get a Wendigo soul here, or a Wendigo spirit, hang on to it. There is a quest that you will need it for. Don't bank it. Alright, so +1 to Shaman. It is important here, if you happen to have a Skyfallen, I think it is, with the +8 Primal Strike here, there is a good chance that you have just gone over, and this will be red. If that's the case, go ahead and take a point out. You only want to go up to 26, anything after that is wasted. But, you know, +1 to all Shaman skills is pretty good. Okay, back to the Covens Refuge. Now, like I said, we've got some quests to turn in and start. Caraxes will change your mind. Yep. We have a deal. Absolutely. Whatever you said. Also, I don't normally do this, but I am going to head back to the Bloodgrove. Yeah, I think we'll take the Bloodgrove. No, we'll go to Sorrow's Bastion. I'm pretty sure Sorrow's Bastion is going to be closer. Because... on the right here, and again, this is something I almost never do, but there is a witch over here that's being tied up and is about to be burned. And we can rescue her for some easy Coven reputation. Now, the easiest way to do this is when you're on your way through. That, I believe that's my lightning. The easiest way to do this is when you're on your way through here the first time. She's going to be kind of over here, I think. Yep. I just saw them on the map there for the briefest of moments. But we can just walk through here. And here we go. Nathaniel Thorne, what's going on here? I want to talk to the Taken. So this is Ralia. You can... I don't think I've ever actually burned her at the stake. It's funny that you can do that. But you can... oh, damn. Well, as I was about to say, you can rescue her by killing these three, and then she'll be available in the... I can't believe I clicked that. She'll be available at the Coven, and she'll give you some extra reputation. Just one Ethereal, and we got the Witch's Spellblade. Okay, I was worried I was going to lose reputation with the Coven there. That was not what I was intending to do. Anyway, I guess she's gone. But if I hadn't burned her at the stake, we would be able to come here and she would actually be in the town, sort of down here, and she'll give you some extra reputation. As long as we're here, there's also a couple of lore notes. So we've got Trists Diary, which we're going to eat that. We're not actually going to read it. The witch I just burned at the stake would be standing right here. So, sorry about that. Oops. There's also hidden spoils here. And then one more lore note just here. So let's go ahead and eat those. Check this ring. Nope. And we're pretty much done here at this point. You can pick up the extra quests, but most of these quests you don't actually need to talk to anyone for it. You can just do it. Level 48, I'm not going to go into the Ancient Grove just yet. I think you need level 60 or even 65 potentially to get the Prismatic Diamond recipe from in there. So I'll be going in there later. Probably at the end of normal after I've done Forgotten Gods. But yeah, we can just beat our way through these. Now, you do want to kill basilisks here. You also want to kill any of the Leafmane alphas. I can't remember if you can actually find them in this section, but they also have quests. This guy might have one, perhaps. There is a Leafmane alpha there, so it's a definite maybe. There we go. Yeah, they're pretty common once you're killing the right Leafmanes, so there we go. I could, if I wanted, go back to town, put one of these in the bank, come back and pick another one up, and then never have to worry about it again. But you don't need to do that, they're very common. You will... I've never not had that available when I needed it to turn the quest in, so it's a complete non-issue. Now, there is also this here, this rotting stump, and it's kind of on the big toe. So if you imagine someone is standing here, this is their right foot facing down, and they would have a left foot here if they were, you know, had 2 feet, if that was an actual foot instead of just, it kind of looks like one. And this is the big toe, and just to the south of that is another, well, this one's a trap, but the stumps that give you Ugden blooms are there. Now, the other thing you can do here, if you want to, and this is kind of a little bit of a waste of time since I do intend to go in there later, but you can come over here and talk to, what's his name? Mogdrogan. Look at these alpha horns, they're everywhere. You can come over here and talk to Mogdrogan, and he will give you a skeleton key. Now, you're agreeing to go in there and use it, but you don't actually have to go in there. You don't have to spend it on a normal skeleton door. You can take it with you to Ultimate and get an extra run that way. Oh, they've updated his model to the same as that one. Okay, cool. What do you ask of me? Continue. I'm not going to accept this. I really don't want to have that quest sitting there hanging over my head for all the rest of normal. So just trust me. He'll give you a skeleton key if you accept his quest. No. Don't want his quest sitting here bothering me for 3 more acts. So I'm going to leave that. Alright. Generally speaking, when I do this section, I've kind of gone off my usual path, which, yeah, it is what it is. Wendigo Eye of Squalls, that could be a decent upgrade. So usually I come straight out of here and just beeline it over here to the big toe, and then up here into Janaxia's Den. Now, we've got a quest that we don't actually have yet to kill Janaxia, so we're going to go pay her a beating. And then we'll be on with our day. So we don't actually have access to the quest for this yet, but we will get it later. I'm kind of curious, can I just stand here and have them all beat themselves to death on me? Yep, definitely can. There's also this little hidey hole right here, which is always fun to click on. Very rarely actually worth it, but always fun. Okay, Janaxia. I'm struggling to remember what weapon or what MI she had, but I'm pretty sure it's a weapon. And I think it might be cold related, although just looking at her, could be thinking of Laria. Ugdenbog Flame Strife is a dagger, so I was right there. And Blackwater Cocktail, so it's caster dagger. Okay. So I wasn't completely wrong, just, you know, the important parts. There we go. Hoarfrost Ointment, just for reducing freezing duration. Also picked up the Storm Scion again, which I think I had earlier a couple of times, maybe twice. Okay, so we are done here, and it's time to leave. So let's head on out. The hallowed entrance. What makes it hallowed? Why is it an entrance when I'm leaving? Surely it would be an exit on that side. Anyway, right. So I'm not going to use this, even though the lightning damage is a little bit bigger because higher level, I assume. I kind of need that Chaos Res, and I also kind of need Elemental Res as well, so... yeah, no, definitely not. On this side here, you can get a totem. And later, once we go through Barrowholm, we'll be sent back here to find and kill a specific Wendigo, who I'm pretty sure is just always either here or just over here. That lightning on the floor really makes me nervous. Too many run-ins with Storm Titans in Melmoth. Alright, another rotting stump that's actually a trap, which is unfortunate. At this point, I'm pretty sure we're just running north. Now, Kraval is up there, and actually, I don't think we're quite at the Kraval area yet. No, I think we are, actually. Anyway, whether this is Kraval or he's a little bit further north, definitely could kill him with this build, but we'd have to pay Dynamite to go in there, and if I'm remembering correctly from the last time I came past here, someone was saying that he has a pet shoulder MI, which I'm not playing pets, so I don't really care. So he can keep his life and his pair of shoulders that are no good for me, and I'll keep my Dynamite. Left one of them alive. There we go. Alright, Flame Silk Sash, Dreadnought Foot Pads. None of this is actually any good for me. Of the Wild is technically a pet thing. I think it has +2 to one of the skills we're using. Where is it? I thought it was Pants of the Wild, but maybe I was a belt. Oh, it's Briarthorn. Okay. For some reason I was thinking it was Heart of the Wild. Yep, here's Kraval. So you can blow this down. Keep in mind, Kraval is like the Logorian's bigger, tougher, stronger, less retarded cousin. He traps you in an area that you can't really run away from him. He continuously spawns enemies. He is a decent amount harder than the Logorian. And he'll also freeze you solid. So, if you're playing softcore, go give him a shot. And if you're playing hardcore, maybe don't. Unless you're very confident in your ability to kill him. I would say probably don't. Alright, another Ugdenbog, and here is Bargol. So we'll take care of Bargol here. farmed him for his weapon on previous character. He's a little tricksy in that he has a bunch of different spawning points and he's a pain to find. Alright. So he's down, and we're going to continue heading north here. Now, if my memory serves, we should be getting very close to the rift showing up on the map, but it is kind of northish, and we are going to continue heading that way. So it should be showing up pretty much... there it is. Okay, we're halfway through the swamp. Let's collect that. Which means, not much, actually. It does mean we're getting close to the Undergrowth, which is another one of the areas that I kind of don't enjoy going into. Mostly because of the little wavy, flappy arm plant thingies that don't technically exist, so you can't kill them. But they do get in the way, and they mess with pathing. So, it's kind of annoying. Alright, Ugdenbog, yes please. Carnivorous plants, no thank you. Thunderbloom though. Definitely kill him. Okay, vine rings. Another one that it could be good to use potentially. That's a vine ring. What's the other vine one called? I can't remember. This one doesn't have any skills that I'm interested in. However, Prismatic of Mending is not bad at all. There's another one of these rings. We might get one from... I forget her name. The big tree thing, anyway. Who may be right here. Yep, here's the entry. You'll note this is another one that doesn't show up on your map, and that's because it has a random-ish location. And there it is, Creeping Ring, Living Ring, and Vine Ring. So Living Ring also doesn't have any skill bonuses that I'm interested in, and a Creeping Ring also doesn't have any. Okay. I had thought that there was something there, but I mean, honestly, the Gollus rings are perfect for this build. We get 6 skill points from each of them, which is really good. I swear I clicked on the ground there. Okay, so the Undergrowth. One of my least favorite areas, and it's because of these things. These things right here. Now, you can't walk through that, and you can absolutely get stuck on it, because the pathfinding just doesn't work. And you can get caught between that on one side and a wall on the other side, and you'll be forever trying to run through that gap. So I'll see if I can find somewhere to show it off. The good part about this area, though, is that the XP in here is quite good if you can stand all of the carnivorous plants and other rubbish. What did I just pick up? Can't remember. Oh, Ugdenbog. Yeah, that's fine. Can you just not for a minute? I'm about to spend skill points, although, to be fair, 3 in Stormcaller's Pact, 1 in Physique is not exactly difficult. There's also often one that sits right here on this corner. I think it's this corner, it might be a different one, but something like this, and you're trying to run around here, so you've got your mouse over here, and you're clicking there, but there's a tree in the way. But for some reason, the game's pathfinding refuses to acknowledge it, and so you'll just run into this tiny little gap between the flappy arm plant thing and the wall, and you'll never actually get there. You have to go and manually drive your character around it. It's really frustrating. Right, so what do we get here? Mogdrogan's Sigil. Pet thing. Alderjacks, no. And a gun? Offhand. Okay, I'm just checking affixes on this. There's nothing here I'm interested in. The Torrents, maybe, but not really. Alderjacks is a gun, although a +2 Shaman skills lightning gun. This could be decent to use. If you wanted to give ranged Primal Strike a shot, could be okay. This is the Torrents thing. That's a bit of lightning damage. +2 to Raging Tempest. It's probably alright. But it's a shield, so no. Alright, this is the sole shining star of this area. There is always an Exalted stash in here, so you can always get at least 1 blue item from here, guaranteed every single time. So that's fun. Empowered Chaos Gaze, Amulet, +1 Amulet. Not bad, but also not shaman, so rubbish. Oh, it's this corner here, actually. All that whinging I did about the flappy arm plants, it's this corner. So let me clear this out and I'll kind of point it out. So this one right here. Oh, it's letting me through. Okay. Go and make a liar of me then, go on. Anyway, this is the corner I was whinging about. And normally I'd say you can't get through there. Turns out this time you can. I guess the game knew I was going to whinge about it and spawned it ever so slightly off to the side. Alright, we've also got this little hidden area just here with Coven Cache. I feel like there was another thing in there. Apparently I'm wrong though. But hey, free loot. Alright, and this boss, whose name I can never remember, Sylvaria, there we go. Sylvaria drops the living rings, the vine rings, and the other ring that I can't remember the name of. And she's guaranteed to drop one of them every time you kill her. So if you're playing a build that needs those, for example, a Rune of Callisto Lightning Paladin, which I mentioned for no reason, then you might want to farm her for these rings. So living ring here is not the one that that is good for that build, but maybe it's good for a different build, perhaps. Okay, we were here to kill her, and she dead, so we can go ahead and leave now. I'm just going to take the rift. So because it's here, honestly, going this way is probably slower, but I don't care because I hate that zone. I'd rather run through here and have it take a little bit longer. Ooh, totally worth it. Bloodthirsty Bloom. I mean, honestly, Ugdenbog and a bit of XP. Probably not actually worth it. But hey, I like it. This is Laria's house. We'll be back to burn that down later on. But we don't have the quest just yet, so I think she doesn't want to talk to us. But we can't get anything from killing her yet. So we'll leave her be for now. Alright, totem up ahead. I'm going to do that. One thing to note as well about this is there's a bunch of different places it can spawn. And if yours isn't there, the easiest way to find it is to just hug the right side of the map. I will kind of point it out here in a second, but Olson's Flame, Winter Storm, none of this is any good. Alright, there we go, Blueprint. Glyph of the Pouncing Manticore. I am never going to use that. But hey, it can't drop again, right? So yeah, if you come over here and just kind of hug the right side of the map, you'll come up the side here and eventually you'll find it. There's only one place that isn't either right here next to Laria's house or along this right side wall, and that I'll point that out when we get to it. It's just south of the Barrowholm Rift. Creeping Ring. Oh, here's the lightning plant again. See, I'm never sure if it's actually worth killing these things, because they do take a decent amount of beating to get rid of. And they come back to life, but sometimes they come back to life as hero-type monsters. So, you know, is it worth running around and bashing all of the ones that still look like plants? Well, not this time. Well, actually, 2 Ugdenbloom's totally worth. Okay, I think one of the spots it can be is here, but just along this right-hand wall, I think it has 2, but maybe it's only 1. But there's not a huge amount of the places it can spawn. Ugdal here, or Ancient Ruins, I guess. Ugdal at the end of this, you can kill him, or you can set him free. It doesn't appear to make a huge difference. There is some reputation involved if you let him free, which is what I'm going to do. But honestly, it's not a big deal. Okay, devotions. What were we working on? Toad. Okay, I'll finish the toad, then I'll get these 4 out of here, and we'll put those into Elemental Storm. I'm going to put that probably on the Wind Devils, just for lack of having anything else to really put it on. Chains of the Hungering Void. Nope. So yeah, that's going on the Wind Devils. Just clear these guys out. We gotta come back this way anyway, it's probably fine. Little lore node in here. I'm probably going to forget that I picked it up in normal when I get to it in ultimate. Try and pick it up again and it won't be there. Played this game before, you see. Okay, so Ugdal. I'm going to let him go. I'm going to say I already have a Wendigo Spirit. If you don't have one of these, there is one available as a quest reward later for doing one of the Coven's quests. So you will get one guaranteed. You don't have to go and farm Wendigos. Just wait till you've got it, and then try and remember to come back. So, RIP Ugdal. Got some Coven reputation and an ethereal missive, so we swapped a Wendigo soul, or spirit, or whatever it's called, for an ethereal missive. Which is, I mean, it's a thing. It's much of a muchness, honestly. It's mostly I do that quest for the XP, which is quite easy if you've got a Wendigo soul ready to go. Okay, so we head on over to the left here, and we'll be getting to Barrowholm. Here we go. I'm going to take a quick little detour once I get to this point. Actually, I'll drop a portal, and I'll come back. So just up here, you'll see on the map at the top of the screen there is a rift. That is the Barrowholm Rift. So let's go ahead and pick that up. And I'm going to rift back to where I just was. Because there's two things to point out here. First one, if you're a nemesis with a beast, Chupacabra can be standing right here. Second one is if you didn't find the Undergrowth on the right wall, and you didn't find it where I did, it's going to be here or down here. I think it's that one. But one of these two trees will have it, and there's no other places it can be. Venom Gaze Bile is another part of the quest that we were collecting the horns for, so those two plus an Ancient Heart will finish that quest, but that's going to be later. And I'm also going to end the episode here, so we're going to have a short one today. Come back tomorrow, I guess, and we'll be doing Barrowholm. But thank you all very much for watching. See you in the next one, and goodbye for now.